trying to find the way forward on what should be done to attack or fight Mashayamombe. That is myself.
Commission, Chairperson, the questions of the stage, you could eliminate Mashayamombe.
So this commission is also being used as a stage to eliminate Mashayamombe.
Ndakauya pano testify before this commission.
I came here trying to get the opportunity to testify before this commission. I saw that lady, but I have forgotten her name.
But I was not given.
But I was not given the opportunity to testify. It was as a result of the clip which I saw, which was being broadcasted on the ZTV, the Zimbabwean television.
Type witnesses.
After I had seen the caliber of people who were coming masquerading as witnesses, It did not mean that you subpoenaed me through a letter. I had denied the opportunity to testify by that lady who is seated there. If you ask her, she will confirm what I am saying.
Maybe for the record, it is true that he indeed came. I think I also indicated to the commission, even when you asked me to send the invitation, I confirmed that he had indeed come, but on that day there were others who were on the list. But I confirmed even to the commission that Ms. Mashayamombe volunteered to testify.
I want to tell the Amari, come to
Thank you so much for conceding or admitting the truth, because I was left standing there and all of them left.
So, Jadaro,
after that, there is a lady or a woman by the name Sheila Mutsenu.
Sheila Mutsenu is Zanu PF.
Sheila Mutsenu is a Zanu PF member.
Ndiye walizotunzwa kuti ndiye akaweka commission akati ndakaona Mashayamombe achidistribute bulongo.
So from the information which I received, I'm reliably informed that she came and testified to the effect that she saw Mashayamombe, that is myself, distributing Bronclear, commonly known as Brongo Yenarari. I'm here to say the truth, and I will say it as it is.
I have never tested beer in my life.
I grew up in the Roman Catholic Church. I've never tasted beer in my life. Even in our family, my young brothers, all of them, they do not take alcohol. They were following my footsteps. I told them the effects of alcohol, telling them those negative effects of alcohol. So there is no way I can take other people's children, buying Bronclear for them.
That's why you should know so that I will clear this one.
So when I heard those allegations, I decided to come and clear my name, setting the record straight.
Your Excellency, tell me, musi wakaitiwa noise mtown. I was nowhere near town.
Your Excellency, the chairperson of the commission, on the 1st of August, when there was violence in town, I was nowhere near the CBD, the town of Harare.
Musi uyu, my result, I was contesting Harare South.
I was contesting in Harare South.
My result, a constituency yedu ya Harare South. Anga asati hada iziro.
The results for our constituents, that is Harare South, had not yet been announced.
So my candidates tese tangatiri kunonzi ku DDF. You know what your command center yedu the constituent.
All the candidates for Harare South were at
DDF
training center, which is the command center for Harare South.
Yes. So, and that is one command center, the show a program demonstration.
I could not leave the command center at DDF training center, coming to the CBD to demonstrate.
You need something that's here up to my result, that's what I'm saying. Because by that time, I was leading.
Before knowing the results, because by then I was the leading candidate. So all these allegations are lies.
Who can even come and testify? My result, my candidates,
Other candidates whom I was contesting with in Harare South, they can come and confirm to the effect that we were together in Harare South, to be specific, at the DDF training center. We were eagerly waiting for the results which had not yet been announced.
My result,
Our results, that is the results for our constituents, Harare South, were finally announced on the 3rd of August, if my memory serves me well.
Yes. So, ndozoka pana munhu akataura zita rangu muno commission.
Coming to the person who implicated my name before this commission.
Ndakanzwa achitaura kuti Mashayamombe anga ari office pakwe pana Julius Nyerere.
I heard here saying Mashayamombe was at his offices, which are along Julius Nyerere.
Ndakagumisisa kushandisa maoffices iwayo gore rapera.
I last used those offices last year. November, before being evicted from town.
During the coup period.
That was during the period when there was that process, the coup.
Ndakagumisisa 2015.
I last saw Sheila Mutsenu the year 2015.
Chandichikurangarira chete ndechekuti nguva yemaelection mama munana June handichanasi kuziva madhesi acho akatuma anonzi Kerina Mujati kuti andifonere achikumbira $15,000.
What I still recall is during the period of elections, I think it was in June, she sent Kerina Mujati asking for $15,000.
Yes, achiti iye upenyu hwamuomera akanga ambotiza kana kuBotswana achiti maCIO.
She indicated that she was having difficulties to make ends meet. At one point, she escaped going to Botswana.
Achiti maCIO, army, youth, or veterans, the homicide police, they were chasing after her.
She indicated that CIOs, war veterans,
homicide,
and also members of the homicide police section were chasing after her.
Yes. So then,
I then responded saying, you also know the problem that I encountered. I had no money.
Chats Facebook. I told one Sheila, na Kerina Mujati, I should come that assistance.
So I have Facebook chats here between Sheila and Kerina Mujati, where even she mentioned my name.
Assistance kuna Mashayamombe and
where she requested Kerina Mujati to ask me to assist her.
Kerina Mujati is there for you to testify.
Kerina Mujati is there. You can contact her so that she will come and testify, confirming what I'm saying.
Mumachata Shakare, Arukunyora Kutmasia, Army, Mao veterans, Kuzichipanga, and others, they want to kill him.
In these charts, she indicated that
including my name.
CIOs, war veterans, Kuzichipanga, including my name, they wanted to kill her.
Yes. So, those zvakaitika zviri kubva kuti azoenda zita rangu kuno kucommission.
These are some of the things which happened, which then prompted her to come and implicate me before this commission.
Sheila uyu kuneva no memory yakachakwana kana kuti vachikurangarira zvakamboitika.
To those who can recall what once happened in relation to Sheila, this Sheila woman talking about.
Sheila ndiye mumwe mukadzi akaenda pa Daily News offices Manicaland. After Daily News yanyora headline imwe ichituka mugabe akaenda akandoita wait mu office Daily News.
She's one of those ladies who went and urinated at the Daily News offices after they wrote some news which was negative about Mugabe and Zanu-PF.
In Manicaland. Ndiye zvakare Sheila akaenda ambassador weAmerica kwamutare akaenda akandokurire hembe musakubva achidzinga ambassador weAmerica.
She is the same lady, Sheila, who went and removed her clothes in Manicaland before the ambassador from America.
She is the same Sheila aishandiswa naDidmus Mutasa kutuka Mugabe na Grace Man 2014.
She is the same Sheila who was being used by Didmus Mutasa and his colleagues to attack Mugabe and Grace in 2014.
Yes. Memory.
So those who can recall what happened.
As a thug.
So she's an individual who is being used by Zanu-PF as a thug to attack opponents or fight opponents.
I have this book for you so that you can go through my chats and you can verify the moods of my chats.
I have these copies for you so that you can go through them. You can even confirm with chats.
So no type yevanhu vari kukoshwa neZanu-PF vachiuya kuno kungosvibisa chete kana kutrya to eliminate my opposition parties.
So this is the type of people who are being coached by Zanu-PF to eliminate members of the opposition party or to attack them, tarnishing their image.
I didn't assist her.
She implicated me because when she asked for help, by then things were not well for me and I could not assist her.
So, Mr. President, Nyaya Commission yatorwa advantage nevamwe vanhu kuti varwise vamwe vanhu vachinyepa.
So, Honorable Chairperson, other people or some individuals have taken advantage of the commission to attack others whilst they are not telling the truth, they are lying. We do not want to say much about where we are coming from in ZANU-PF.
But sure, kana vanhu vakatadza zvechokwadi kuseparata kuti uyu taparadzana naye uyu chiregai aenda andozviitira politics dzakwe vachingoramba vachingorwisa futi then vari kutiisa pakuona pakanyanya.
Surely, if others fail to accept that we have separated, because of our differences, and allow that individual to go and do his own business, they will be making our life very difficult, putting us at a corner or in a corner.
Saka nekuda kutaura izvi nekuti tine maronda epatakabva.
I am saying this because we have wounds of where we are coming from, Mr. President.
Mr. President, musi wakanzi vamugabe vanyora tsamba yekuresign musi impeachment. I was abducted at Rainbow Towers daylight.
Mr. President, on the day when it was said that President Mugabe wrote a resignation letter, I was abducted daylight at Rainbow Towers.
More than 5 hours.
For more than 5 hours, I was being tortured using electric using live electric cables. My skin is peeling off, your worship, in my legs. I cannot sit for the whole day whilst putting on shoes.
So,
that did not end there, Chairperson. They demanded for all my money. They took a safe which had more than $50,000 US. Which they were given by my young brother and my wife, whilst I was tied on live electric cables. If I think of it, tears come down. The witness is now so. I'm in the business of importing cars. So they took the money from that business. As it is, I still owe people who had already paid for some vehicles. I'm being dragged to court because of that money.
So,
that did not end there. The offense which I committed is, they are saying I was close to Mugabe.
More than 30 pairs.
They robbed at my house where they took suits. More than 30 pairs of suits. They also took my shoes. They assaulted my young brother. He has a permanent injury as a result of the attack.
They are even after my business right now. They want
They want me to remain with absolutely nothing During the period for campaign,
around June. Ndichibva paAvondale.
As I was leaving Avondale,
ndakaabductwa zvakare during the election.
I was abducted again during that period, the period for elections.
Mhosva yangu yandaipuwa ndeyekuti go and withdraw your candidature kuHarare South.
The offense, what they were saying I was supposed to go and withdraw my candidature in Harare South.
Nekuti ndakanga ndichikwikwidzana nemwana waPresident Mnangagwa.
Because I was contesting against President Mnangagwa's son.
President upenyu hwatinorarama hunorwadza. Rinogona kuva rizuva rekupedzisira nhasi kutaura pano. But
President, our life experience is painful. This can be my last day, especially considering the prevailing environment.
Ndakandodhambwa ku10 ndikatorerwa mota yangu wakasara nayo the
I
whole night.
was dumped at 10 wards. My vehicle was taken. They remained with it the whole night.
Ndikadzoka kumba nekombi.
I returned home using a commuter-owned bus.
Ndakazonotora mota yangu the following day.
I then went to collect my vehicle the following day.
Panyaya yangu yandakaabdakitwa muna November, MPs mazhinji elast parliament vakazvinzwa vanga varipo.
In my case where I was abducted last year in November, most members of parliament know what I'm saying. They were there.
It was reported to mapurisa.
It was reported to the police.
Asi hakuna kana one day ratakadaidzwa kunzi nyaya yenyu yatakuita.
But there was no single day where we were told, invited to the police, being informed that they were pursuing our matter, they were handling it.
Ndo zvakaita kuti even pandakaabdakitwa muna June, I didn't go handina kundoripota kumapurisa because hakuna chinobuda ikoko.
Which is the reason why I did not formally lodge a police report when I was abducted in June, because I know that nothing will come out from the police.
During my election, wandai contesta naye mwana wao president akauya pabasa pangu akapisa makebheni angu asi hakuna kumbobvirwa kwatombo ambodaidzwa kana polisi kana one day.
During the elections, the candidate whom I was contesting with, the president's son, came and burnt my cabins at my workplace. But that matter was never reported. I was never even invited for interviews by the police.
So, Mr. Chairman, taifunga kuti maybe election apera zvapera ipapo vakuunganidza futi vanhu vekuya kundinyepera kuno commission.
So, Honorable Chairperson, we thought it would end after elections, but they are going forward, bringing people who will come and falsely implicate me before this commission.
Ndiwo matambudziko atiri kusangana nawo.
These are the problems which we are encountering.
Nekuti vanhu vanotokochwa kunzi kuti totanga vatitwe marehearsals.
Because these people are being coached. In fact, they start with the rehearsals.
Saka mukandipa list yevanhu vakauya panapa vachitestify, ndinogona kukuudzai kuti uyu ndinhingi uyu anopinda musangano kwakati, district rakunotera kati, munhu weZanu PF uyu.
If you can give me the list of people who came and gave evidence before this commission, I can identify them and even identify their districts and also their political parties.
Their political party, which is Zanu PF, not parties.
Their political party, which is Zanu.
Saka ndozviripo. So
that is what is there.
Kunzi wakauya kuno, wakauya nemunhu angatora great, angachidimanda mari, extortion from me.
The evidence which was tendered before this commission, it was actually tendered by an aggrieved party who was demanding money for me. She was actually trying to extort money from me. She is known in all Zanu PF circles. That is her behavior, that is her way of doing things.
So, muzhinji wandataura ndizvo zvandingade kuti nditaure ndichiramba kuti handina kungobvira ndava part and parcel yekumademonstration. Dai chairperson sure dai chamisa akadaidzira vanhu kuti uyai muite demonstration according to the number iri kutaurwa nemapurisa kuti 5,000 sure president weMDC Alliance anoti chamisa angatadza kuinvite our 50,000 vari muground mutauri.
So I want to put the record straight. I was not part and parcel of those people who were demonstrating. Yet it been that the president for MDC Alliance, Advocate Nelson Chamisa, called for demonstrations. Honestly, he could not have called only 5,000 people. Maybe more than 50,000 people could have come.
I see a demonstration, 5,000.
Because the number which is being mentioned, the number of about 5,000 people, to me, that number is not for demonstration.
So,
so it is just a matter of smearing other people with mud, tarnishing their image.
Apana, kana paine vanhu vakaita demonstration sezvipo. These are just contained citizens. Dzakambozvimukira from the street kuti demonstrate against what was happening mazuva ema-election. Nekuda kwekuti mhosva ine zeki yakanonoka kuanonza mazauri.
If there were people who demonstrated, these people were merely concerned citizens who were demonstrating, showing their concern. The issue or the offense was with ZEC that delayed to announce election results.
Nekuti munhuwo wandakanzwa uchitaurwa naShila ari kutaura zvegurukuru ari kuti iye takaona Mashayamombe akamira a sea of red. Anditika mungatarisa pamavhidhiyo ese evanhu vakaita mademonstration hapana pamunomboona vanhu vakapfeka red chete chete vari kuita demonstration. Ipewo one video yacho.
In the evidence which was tendered by Sheila, who implicated my name, she said she saw me standing with a sea of people who were wearing red regalia. But if we are to check on those videos or pictures, there is no way where you see people who were only wearing red regalia. You can bring the video or the pictures.
Office bank, pani vane mashops vari next door nevakushandisa paofisi vanogona kutesisa kuti pane pakambounganawo a sea of red musi wa 1 August vakaadhiriswa ipapo.
At my offices, there are other occupants of other offices next to my shop. They can come and give evidence to confirm on whether they saw a sea of people who were wearing red regalia at that shop being addressed.
So, taita dambudziko, President.
We have a problem, President.
I think ndimi mungakwanisa kungobatsira nekuti kuti vanhu muZimbabwe vazoshaya $2 ndimi makanga mauya kungobatsira mazuva emusi.
So I think you can assist for Zimbabweans to enjoy that privilege where they would buy an item, getting an item, maybe 2 items for $1. It was through your assistance where you came and assisted us.
Do mashoko anengataura pano kuti chirongwa chekomisheni vanhu vari kuuya kutestify vanhu vanotopotwa nekuti vamwe vacho tinotovaziva vamwe vacho tisaka tovaisa mastructures achizanu.
So that is what I can say, that people who are coming to testify are being coached. I know some of them. We actually put some of them in our recruited them in our structures. That is what I can say.
I have no questions for you. I will now hand you over to the commission. They have any questions for clarification.
Handichisina mubvunzo yekukubvunza iko zvine zvindakutendera macommissioners kana paine zvimwe zvawada kuti munge muchijekesa vachakubvunzai.
Honorable Chair, members of the commission.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
umbo hwenyu wangu wakajeka uchinyatsonanga chaizvo uchitsanangura saka macommissioners haana mimwe mubvunzi ada kuti munge muchijekesa.
Simeon Chipokoso. It is not available. Chairman, maybe at this juncture you may allow me to hand over to my colleague for the next meeting.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. I propose to call the ballistics expert as the next witness, led twin Paradise.
If you may state your full names to the commission.
My name is Tsitsi Paradzai.
Tsitsi Paradzai, do you swear that the evidence which you shall lead before this commission of inquiry shall be the truth only? If you do so swear, raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Both administered. You can take a seat if you want to take a seat.
Now, Mr. Parazai, you hold the rank of superintendent in the Criminal Investigations Department of the Zimbabwe Republic Police.
Yes, sir.
You are in the Forensic Ballistics Department.
Yes.
What do you do in that department?
I am the Superintendent Forensic Ballistics. I head the Forensic Department. I am the ballistics expert and currently working at the CID headquarters.
For how long have you been in the ballistics department?
I was transferred to this section in 2005. Since then, I've been in the CID Forensic Ballistics.
Now, you've had occasion to examine a number of scenes and compiled a report that I've since submitted to the commissioners, whose copy you have.
Yes, I admit.
I would like you to please take us through your report that you've compiled, taking us through the scenes that you examined, your findings thereof, and anything else that you think might be relevant to this commission and this hearing.
Thank you, sir. Through the chair, I wrote the report and directed it to my officer command on crime, since it was a document for police. So I shall read it through as we follow. CID Forensic Ballistics is an expert section which works as an aid or a tool to the investigator. It stands as a support section to the organization assisting in the criminal investigations. not only to the Zimbabwe Republic Police, but also to other sister organizations in Zimbabwe and in the region. According to the organization set standards and procedures, all experts are called to a crime scene by the attending details when a circumstance calls for that. This, I quoted a book called Police Duties and Investigations Manual and gave you the page so that you can refer my statement from. In this matter, ballistics experts only attended to 2 places of occurrences related to the post-election violence, that is the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions offices, Golon Building, Corner Jason Moyo Avenue and Harare Street.
Okay, let me stop you there. As I've indicated to you, the commissioners do have your report. Now, I want you to now touch on those areas which you feel must be highlighted in that report, which must be heard by the commissioners. Starting with your findings at the city center car park. I have deliberately chosen the second area you visited because that is in the last inspection in local, the commissioners went to that place first.
Crime scene number 2, city center parking shooting area. It's Kona Angwa and George Sulundika. On the 15th of November, at around 9:30, I, Superintendent Paratzai, together with 2 detective inspectors, that is Detective Inspector Mtizwa and Detective Inspector Charinga, visited the shooting incident together with number 058 541 Foxtrot GAI Mokowa Victor from CID Law and Order. Upon arrival at the city center park, it was observed that normal operations had since resumed, an indication that the crime scene had been completely interfered with. To add more to this, I'm highlighting where the interference was. We noted the bullet holes, 1 exit, 1 entry and 1 exit wall were observed on the car park wooden guardroom, northern and southern wings respectively. But just to highlight, it had already been tampered with because some nail was pushed into the bullet hole and some tissue papers forced into the hole. Inside the guardroom, it had already been broken where I was going to see the exit of the bullet. It was broken using some sharp object to remove the material on the wooden guardroom. You can see it on my picture that I presented on the report. The second picture on the southern wing. That's the external side where the bullet came out of. On the bullet, the bullet was fired from the northern side of the guardroom and it struck one of the metal posts of the Jurao prior to penetration past the northern and southern wing, viewing the guardroom. And another bullet, it was approximately the entry of 7.5mm diameter and 1 exit at 9.2mm diameter. And it was also observed something was pegged from my picture. The one that you see in the brownish color, that is appearing on my page 10. It is that nail that's appearing like a bullet head. I just did this so that I will let you know how the bullet holes were tampered with, so I could not get the correct or depict the correct caliber because the holes were tampered with. Going to another part that we visited in the car park, it was the Barclays Bank minibus ABB 7538 Marco Polo. It had 1 bullet entry and 1 exit hole was found on the Barclays minibus, which was parked inside the car park on the day. The bullet that hit the bus was fired from the northern direction, as shown on my picture just down. The bullet entry hole had a diameter of 5.9 millimeter and the exit at 6.9, an indication it had flown from a very far direction from the fire. The third one, we attended also to a victim who was there at the car park when we visited, Adrian Mujeri, who came to this commission and testified. Adrian was interviewed and indicated that he was shot inside his arm, just close to the elbow, and I could just see the stitches that was on his skin. I never attended to the person before he was taken to the hospital, so I could see the stitches and the exit that was larger, an indication it passed in his body from this side and out this way. The stitches that I could see were so many because of the medical people who were attending to the hand. A bullet entry and a bullet exit were seen by the marks and scars he identified to us.
Still on Adrian, were you able to tell from your observations and from your interviewing him whether this shot that hit him was fired from the front or from the back?
As an expert, I just observed it must be, or it was, a bullet entry from its entrance and the outer side that it came out of. I could not ask him much because I'm not an investigator. So I just wanted to examine the bullet hole and its exit. That I got from Adrian that it was fired and I could see the entry, which was smaller, and the exit that was already operated, and I could not measure anything because it was already stitched and healed.
Thank you very much. May I proceed?
The last one was a Mitsubishi commuter or minibus AAQ 0173. It was parked closer to the main post office, and the person who owns the combi was not even there, so I could not access the inside of the combi. One bullet mark on the windscreen was sighted. It was a shutter that was giving in, and we could not pick anything from there because the window did not shatter or produce any hole, but you could see that it was a blow that came from outside into the screen of the car. I think I'll go to my conclusion. Unless you want me to cover.
Okay, before you go to your conclusion, now, your examination of these scenes that you've just referred to from that car park, are you able to tell the commission what sort of firearm was used to fire those?
From my opinion, the weapons that were used were small arms, and I cannot depict the caliber because the bullets were tempered using certain.
Very well. Superintendent, continue. Continue with your evidence.
From my observation at the car park, all the bullet holes that we cited were fired by small arms, and we cannot pick which caliber because all the holes have been tempered with. For example, the wooden guardroom, as from my picture, I I actually took pictures so that the commissioners can see the temper that was done on the wall. So all those are small arms. When we talk about small arms,
Once again, we must appeal to you. Please don't interject someone testifying I am appealing to you because it is important. You are physically here, but there are many people who are watching this on television. I'm really appealing to you that let's have order, because this is a public hearing, and it is not right for you to interject witnesses. Allow the witness to make the point, and you have all the day time to analyze and arrive at your own conclusions. Please help us. Let us work together here. This is a public hearing.
Yes, Superintendent. Please carry on with your evidence.
when I say small arms arms covers shotgun, rifles, small all pistols, rifles, shotguns, revolvers, all of that are included when I'm saying small arms. I cannot go straight to which caliber it was, because as I said earlier on, the car park, all the scenes that I attended at the car park, the walls were tampered with the bus. They had already cleaned the bus, tried to remove the legs that was inside the seats, and even that the one that had passed into the bus, they had already done something on the walls. Going back to the guard room, I have the picture which shows the wooden part of it removed. Even the other one side, it had some nails inserted inside. So I cannot go straight to which caliber it was, but I can specifically say it was from small arms.
Thank you. Now, let us move to the ZCTU scene. If you could take us through your findings without fear.
The ZCTU offices, we observed that on the third floor, 2 bullet holes, approximately 2.4 centimeters and 2.5 in diameter, 8.5 millimeter horizontal apart, 137 centimeters and 129 from the floor, respectively, were observed on one window pane facing Jackson Moyo Avenue. Further examination of the walls showed that the bullets were fired from outside the building. Entrance walls were neater and clean cut. They tend to be smaller. Exit walls were larger and messy. They showed the circular fracturing of the glass because the bullet came in from outside into the window and fell inside. Bullets are fired with a lot of force, and the force carries pieces of glasses through the wall and out other side. The glass fragments intended to stick on the exit wall, and I could see from my observation the glasses were shattered inside the building, showing the exit into the building on the glasses. And I observed the 2 walls, the 2 that had the circular fragmentation that was caused by the bullet holes. I indicated on my picture the first wall and the second wall. The second was second floor. One bullet was approximately 2.3 in diameter and 182 from the floor to where it came in was discovered on one window pane facing Jason Moyo Avenue. Further examination of the wall showed that the wall was fired from outside. 2 bullet entry walls and 2 exit walls were also located on the aluminium screen that we see on the picture as aluminium louvers that were just outside the building. I could not measure the 2 walls, but they are completely 2 shots that are smart and coming into the building. We could not measure those because we could not go outside the building or reach the surface we were, but we could see there were 2 shots fired from outside. The material of the louvers must be aluminium. Its entrance and exit is clearly seen because it came from the outside into the inside and leaving the material of the aluminium opening into the offices, showing its entry and exit. The position of the exit wall in relation to the entry walls showed that the bullets were fired from outside. It could not be measured due to its location. Lastly, that was observed was the ceiling that was concrete. It had an approximate 3 centimeters in diameter. The cement had came off and it was a circular fragment that had fallen into the office. From there, you could tell that the bullet that came in through the louver into the window also hit the ceiling and fell down. I think I'm done with ZCT. The 2 floors that we saw, the bullet holes.
Now, you also, maybe let me rephrase. On the day the commission visited the ZCTU offices on Golden House, on the 2nd floor, a witness showed to the commissioners what appeared to non-expert eyes as a head of a bullet and 2 spent cartridges. Now you had occasion to examine those. Are you able to now tell this commission what your findings were?
Thank you. As the police procedure, likewise the CGP has indicated earlier on that the cartridges were going to be given to the police officers and law and order would bring them to CID ballistics. They were brought in by Detective Constable Vunduka. He brought what I will name A, the 2 by 7.62 by 39 spent cartridge cases. The other one I will name B, it was a steel core. Examination on Exhibit A, that's the spent cartridges, showed that there were 7.62 by 39 spent cartridge cases which were discharged by 2 different AK rifles. That chambers 7.62 by 39 live ammunition. Further examination of Exhibit A. Further examination of Exhibit A, meaning the spent cartridges, showed that they did not make any outstanding sin in the laboratory. To explain this, we keep cartridge cases that are brought to the lab without firearms matching on them for further examination so that we match the outstanding crime case to the incoming firearms, looking for the fire. To go on, examination of Exhibit B, that's the steel core that you saw from here, that was of different shape to the cartridge case, showed that it was a steel core of a 7.62 by 39 bullet. No comparison could be done on Exhibit B, the steel core. This we could not put on the machine and examine which firearm could have fired the steel core, because it had already left its jacket elsewhere. We only saw the steel core and we cannot put it on the machine. Going on, pertaining to, I'll stop there. That's all about the exhibits that were brought from the commission.
I just want to, for continuity's sake, I just want you to carry on to that bit of your evidence that you just stopped short from giving, where you say pertaining to the crime scene number 2, City Park. Just carry on and finish that, then I'll come back to what I want to ask.
Pertaining to the crime scene number 2, City Center Car Park, nothing was picked from the crime scene by forensic ballistics expert. Since the scene had already been disturbed, we were told by the lady who works in the guardroom that they are always sweeping the guardroom and they did not find anything they feel important to give us. Even the minibus, the driver indicated he cleaned the bus and took everything out and washed it using a hose pipe, so we did not pick anything from the bus.
Okay.
Further, with my regards to this scene, no exhibits have been brought to forensic ballistics by any other station for forensic examination. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now, I just want to take you back to your findings pertaining to the spent cartridges. On the day of the inspection in law, the commission was referred to a witness who then came to confirm his evidence here in this very room. This witness made indications. He indicated that the steel core and one of the cartridges you examined were found on the floor of 2nd floor, Golden House. He then led the commission downstairs to a spot where he indicated outside Golden House that he had picked up the other cartridge. Now, in view of the position of the cartridges, are you able to tell this commission as to where these cartridges would have been fired from?
Thank you, sir. Chairman, 7.62 by 39 cartridges are fired by an AK rifle. If they are fired, the firer squeezes the trigger, it ejects the cartridge case closer to him or her, meaning the cartridge case that was found on the ground was fired by one person who was on the ground. The other two that were sighted inside the office, it means the head that went into the offices was true to could have come from the ceiling and falling down. That's my opinion. The other one that was picked, as he says, in the office, to me and other experts anyway, the firer was inside or could have squeezed the trigger inside the offices because it falls only closer to the fire. It does not fly together with the projectile from the ground to the or into the 3rd floor or 2nd floor. That's impossible.
Thank you.
So what we were supposed to have, what I think was supposed to have been picked inside the offices were supposed to be just bullets, the steel cores. Cartridges should have been picked where it was closer to the fire. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else pertaining to your report that you've compiled, which has been handed to the commissioners that you would like to highlight at this stage?
Nothing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will now hand you over to the commissioners. They may have certain questions or clarifications they may seek from you. Mr. Chairman, your witness. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I think first and foremost, would you want to just make it clear that by a small arm you include an AK-47 rifle?
Yes, from my definition, as I highlighted, small arms covers rifles, shotguns, revolvers, and pistols. Any calibers that are below 10 millimeters will fall into small arms.
Or in other words, an AK-47 rifle is a small arm.
Thank you.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I think we were trying to clarify that point. I saw it created problems earlier on. So the question is clarified that a small arm includes an AK-47. The second question relates to what happened in the third floor university. Is it your evidence that from the observation of the shots and what it could only have been from outside? From the report and from your expert analysis?
Yeah, I will take the person as, yes, the bullets were fired from outside into the building, passing through the louvers and the glass into the ceiling, then fell down on the floor.
So there was no indication as far as you're concerned of any firing from inside?
When we interviewed the people who attended us there, they indicated they never saw anyone inside the building.
Now, if then that is clear as such, it would mean that this thing that was picked, it would either be one thing is false, either that that thing was not picked from the third floor, or that someone's shot from it can be both correct, because we got some evidence that that cartridge was picked from the third or second floor. But you didn't notice any shooting from the second floor yourself?
As I alluded earlier before, the shots that we observed were all fired from outside into the building. We never saw anything like a bullet hole that was fired from inside to outside. And I did took the photos just to show you what I observed as bullet holes. Thank you, sir.
Any other
To make any findings as to whether the people inside had arms? Do you make any findings? On the day we attended, we had investigators from CID Law and Order. From me, I do examinations and produce reports for judiciary. The investigation part of it is done by the investigators. They work together with me and are the best people to ask more on what they got from the occupants of the office. The other office that we entered, the person was not even there. The person who reported was said to be outside the country. We just got entry using the keys. He was not even there to answer to any person.
Since a cartridge was found inside, would there be any possibility that they would have been fired from inside?
As asked by,
considering that windows can always be opened.
Maybe I answered this when Commissioner asked me. I am saying, when one is firing any small arm, the cartridges fall closer to the firer. To add more, one can even see the cartridge and pick it because it falls close in the event that it rolls over, it can roll over, but it's closer to you, the fire. Meaning that the person who indicated to you that he picked the cartridge case and the head, the steel core, should explain, maybe, because we have the person, how it came to them and they didn't see the fire. I even asked them, did any person come into the building with a firearm and fired them? Are there any other holes that you have that we did not see? Because we looked through all the offices that they reported they fired to. Thank you, Commissioner.
And then in your evidence in the city center, you said you examined one guy who was shot, and according to your statement, it's suggestive of the fact that he was shot from the front. Would you confirm that?
My picture that I inserted on my report was an aid to explain where the hole was. Because if I change the direction or say anything, it will be wrong or a speculation. I don't know his position during the time of fire and where he was putting his hands during the time he was fired to. But what I noticed was a mark that was already attended to inside the elbow and outside the side. And I observed this one was smaller than the outer, the exit wall, which I explained that the entry will be smaller, the exit will be larger, and any projectile that's forced into the bones makes the bones more impact to the exit, as they will also intend to take the position of the projectile, create missiles as it leaves the body.
The reason why I was seeking clarification is that in your statement it said the bullet marks were located just below the right elbow and the bullet was fired from the front direction. I just wanted you to clarify so that when we go through the evidence we can.
Thank you, Commissioner. As I have cleared this, I think we are done with it.
Can I, thank you, to just follow up on that, to clarify, you're not able to say categorically that the shot was fired from the front. It depends on where the person's arm would have been when the shot hit the arm. The person could have been facing the other direction if his arm was up the other way. Isn't that what it depends on how factually it happened at the time?
Yes, because I attended the person when he was already treated and the wound healed. I can only confirm the entrance that he shot and the exit that was consistent with the gunshot, where the entry is smaller than the exit. The exit is larger, the entrance is smaller.
Thank you. Can I just go back to the scene at the Trade Union Federation? In your report at the end, the last page, you say that these cartridges were from two different AK-47 rifles. How can you tell that?
Commissioner, let me go through what we do when we examine cartridge cases. Ballistics is an art where we examine cartridge cases from crime scenes using a comparison microscope. So when we put cartridge cases on the comparison microscope, we are checking for striation marks. We do it using the microscope and checking all the striations that we are going to see on the cartridge and compare with other cartridge cases, because it's a comparison of two things. So when we picked the two, we started the first one and started the second one, put the two together, recheck what we are seeing on the first cartridge and what we are seeing on the second cartridge. We compare the two. To put this clear, let me say we are comparing two people, myself and her. So what similarities do we have when we are comparing? We write them down
What differences we have, we write them down. If we are so different, it means we are coming from different parents. If you are real people, like what I'm giving as an example, so she is light and I'm light, that is not different from us. She is she's big, I'm a bit small. We look at the differences. So these two cartridge cases, when we compared them, they actually were two different things.
So
the one that was fired from the one that was picked on the ground had different striations from the one that was picked inside the offices, indicating there were two different weapons that were fired. We are an aid to the investigator. So when the investigator is investigating, we just forward the information that we could have got in the office so that he goes to look for the two firearms, since it's not coming up to be one firearm, that's what the two cartridges.
Okay, I think I understand. Every gun, although they're both AK-47 rifles,
Yes.
every gun will have its own characteristics.
Yes,
You can
thank
therefore tell which bullet was fired from which gun. In this case, we don't know which gun, but you can certainly tell us they're two different AK-47 rifles.
Yes, Commissioner, I admit to that.
Great, okay. Now just moving on, the bullet that was found inside, you said it was a 7.62 times 39mm bullet, which is exactly the same figures that you used for describing the AK-47 cartridge. So is it fair to assume that that bullet is most likely from an AK-47 rifle?
From my report, I clearly stated the cartridge cases are from, you can read my second part, examination of Exhibit A, that's the two cartridge cases, showed that they are 7.62 by 39mm spent cartridge cases, which are discharged by two different AK rifles. So I think
No, absolutely clear. I just want to say the bullet itself, though, is it safe to assume that the bullet itself is also from an AK-47 rifle?
It's
It's
safe
got
to
exactly
say.
the same measurements.
It's safe to say that, because it was a steel cork from an AK-47 ammunition.
It's not a possibility, it's a fact that it was from an AK-47.
It's a fact.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to establish. That we as commissioners can rely on the fact that that bullet that was found in the office is an AK-47 bullet. Okay, thank you. Now, just working back from there then, is it your expert opinion that bullet must have been fired from the street at an angle, going through the window, into the ceiling, and then dropping down?
Imaginary, as an expert, I have to look for a possibility where something is flying from and towards a target. So as an expert, I am just saying, from my imaginary point of view, the trajectory was from down into the louvers, through the windows, onto the ceiling, then down.
And then just one further step, it might not be you that's got to do this, but maybe somebody else in the police. But we have seen a video talked about a lot of a soldier kneeling down and firing. In that same video, there's another soldier behind him who does have his gun up in the air, firing. And those people who were in the office have said to us that we should look at that video because they think it could be that soldier firing into the building at that trajectory going into the ceiling. Have you looked at that video to do a comparison as an expert?
Thank you, Commissioner. To answer you back, as an expert, I don't work with videos, I'm sorry. I work with cartridges and firearms. If I speculate anything, that will be wrong.
Well, we as the Commission will certainly look at the video and we'd be very much helped by any police analysis of it as well, to see if the two can be matched up. I appreciate that's not you, but somebody else in the police who's an expert in that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your answers.
May I say that as commissioners, we look at the video. And the question my colleague was putting to you was a question arising from our observation of the videos. You as an expert don't need to look at the videos, but you are in a position to answer our questions from your expertise. My question relates to the car park wooden guard room. The car park wooden guard room. Do I understand your report to say that you are convinced that it was one bullet that made the two marks as A and B? I say this because with my inexpert eye, as a layperson, I was not convinced when I looked at them that the holes were parallel enough to justify the conclusion that it was one bullet. The impression I had was that the entry point of the bullet did not coincide properly with the exit point. So the possibility of two bullets having been fired there, do you consider that?
Commissioner, on my observations, I had A, the bullet hole, the part I wrote A, and the other one that I wrote B, and I also had two pics. The other picture is indicating one bullet, the first picture, and the other one is indicating another entry and exit. So there are two holes. And also let me take you back. There's also let's go back to the scene. I want you to imagine the Jura wall of the city car park. It's steel bars. There's one that is coming through the steel bars into the guard room. And there's the other one that is just below. We have two things.
So there are two bullets?
I suppose.
Yes, thank you.
We have post-mortem reports. Perhaps you might be able to explain to us from your expertise if it applies, where the doctors describe what caused the death. I mean, the shots coming from high velocity projectiles. Would you be able to explain to us what that would be from a ballistic framework?
Commissioner, to explain about the velocity, in ballistics we classify weapons into three categories. We have the low velocity, the high velocity, and the hyper velocity. When we talk about the categories, it classifies the types of weapons and their velocity. So small arms, as I said before, fall into the high velocity and hyper velocity. We cannot go to AK rifle and bring it in here on its own, but it's classified as small arms falling into high velocity and hyper velocity. We have some mathematics there. I don't know if you want me to present the meters per second that governs the velocity.
So we will be correct then, according to that expertise, that if the description is that the shot came from a high velocity projectile, then the AK-47 rifle would be in that category.
Let me, with my ballistics, say wounds inflicted by high velocity firearms or ammunition are radically different from wounds caused by handguns or low or medium velocity firearms. Injuries from low velocity firearms, e.g. pistol,